band's making its way around. It got as far as Emma. That's it. So if you take one, and leaders can have one as well. Tom will need one. If you just kind of sit with it looped around your two thumbs like that, okay.
I'm gonna snap it.
And we're just gonna. I thought we could just to explain a little bit about how this following Jesus stuff works. I don't know where you guys are in terms of following Christ or faith or those kind of things, but it's really simple to get our heads around how this works. It's not so easy to do sometimes, but actually in terms of understanding how it works is really simple, okay? So if we put our elastic band around our two thumbs like that. In John's Gospel, Jesus says that, he says to his followers, remain in me and I will remain in you. And this is Jesus himself. He says, I will remain in you if you remain in me. The Jesus of the Bible, the God of history, says that to those who would follow him. Remain in me, abide with me, dwell in me, and I will abide and dwell with you. Okay, so this is a little picture. So I don't know which one you want to be, which one's Jesus, and which one's you. But just the elastic band just symbols the idea of dwelling with Christ and him with us. Now, I don't know what you think about that. Jesus saying that to those who would follow him, I'll be with you if you want to be with me. And I don't know what that means for you right now. Whether you feel you are following him or are yet to make up your mind about that. But it's an encouragement, isn't it? Remain in him and he will remain in us. So I don't know if that's something you thought about or you thought about something that you want to do, is to follow him and be with him, because he wants to be with us. Now then, start to move your thumbs apart about that far, okay? Yeah.
Just gonna snap and hit.
Now, what do you feel?
Tension.
Tension. Okay, yeah, you feel tension. Now keep your thumbs that far apart, okay? Just hold them there. Make sure there's tension. And just be aware of how much effort you are taking to hold your thumbs apart that much. Jesus says, as the Father has loved me, so I have loved you. Now remain, abide, or dwell in my love. Now, how do you do that? He says, obey my commands and you will remain in my love. So keep the tension, okay? Keep the tension, Mr. Starling. And he said, and you will remain in my love, just as I have obeyed my Father's commands and remain in his love. Jesus doesn't ask us to do anything that he hasn't already done himself. It's always a good thing to remember when we're thinking about following Christ. He doesn't ask us to do anything he hasn't done himself. So he obeyed. He did what God wanted him to do. I don't know what that means for you and your circumstances at the moment. What might it mean to do what God wants you to do? Well, Jesus knows the experience of dwelling in his Father's love, and his Father's presence is with him. And again, is that something that we would want to know? God's presence with us. The Father's love with us. Now, let the tension off. Does that feel better? Yeah? A lot less effort. It's interesting, isn't it, that Jesus talks about obeying his commands. It's a command, of course, is that we love those around us. We give ourselves in service to them as we love God. But he goes on in John's Gospel to say, I've told you all this stuff so that my joy may be in you and that your joy may be complete. So which feels better? Being in the circle with your thumbs close together, or trying to hold the tension? You see, I don't know, again, if you thought about that, but Jesus says he can give us joy. So we've talked about his presence, we've talked about doing what his Father wants, and there's this promise of joy. And joy is a deep sense of peace and thankfulness, and it doesn't rest on things outside, it rests on our relationship with God, us being in relationship with him, not trying to walk in opposite directions. See, the farther we try and walk from Jesus, the more the tension is, and the more uncomfortable we can feel. But Jesus says, if we walk with him, the tension goes, and we can receive joy that comes from the knowledge of his presence. So again, the question, I don't know if you guys have thought about whether you want to know the joy of Jesus in your life. This is Jesus saying all this stuff, not me, I'm just repeating it. So I don't know if you've ever thought about that, knowing Jesus' joy in your life. See, Jesus shares his joy with those who want to be his followers. So I don't know whether you are a follower of Jesus. So the encouragement is to keep being a follower, not to walk in opposite directions and create that tension. But maybe you thought about becoming a follower of Jesus and walking with him, that you might know his presence and his love and his joy. These are the things he says can be ours. So I don't know where that leaves you and what that set you thinking about. Maybe now or during the course of this evening, you can return to that thought. Jesus' presence, Jesus' love, Jesus' joy can be ours. That's what he says, if we will follow him. So keep your elastic band on your wrist as a reminder of what Jesus has said to you guys tonight. You can know his presence, his love, and his joy if you want to follow him. So just something to get you thinking.